as another act.
Yeah,
I
that's a little
don't know
harsh.
why they did it, but that's what happened. What about you?
I mean, this has got to be in the top three at least. Speaking of pissing on stage, there's a venue in San Francisco called Mutiny Radio. I think it's still around. It's been around in some entity or another for a long time. It used to be called Pirate Cat, but it is like it's old San Francisco. It's not the new tech San Francisco where everybody has a six-figure job and is prim and proper. This is like Hate Street, doing acid, shit in your pants, like old grimy SF. And they had a show there. I don't know why they decided this was necessary, but the theme of the show was the comics can drink as many beers as they want, but they need to wear a diaper and they're not allowed to use the bathroom. And so this is just like the stupidest theme show. Everybody pisses their pants for laughs. I'm running the sound booth because I didn't want to be near enough to smell, but I needed to see what was happening. I had to be behind the glass to know what was going on. And this was on a Friday, and Friday is the stand-up comedy showcase night. Every Friday, it's not always piss night, but there's always a stand-up comedy show. And so in the middle of this just disgusting, terrible P theme show, Sammy Obeid, who I'm not sure if you're familiar with, really funny comics, got a huge following, and he's out of San Francisco. And so Sammy just shows up to do a set, not knowing what's happening. And this is somebody who does like math puns. Like he is not pee your pants dirtbag comic by any means. Like his whole set now is just like math puns and like surprisingly hilarious wordplay about Palestine. And so he gets on stage to do his math puns, and he's standing in the one corner of the stage that does not have pee on it at this point, and just bombing, just doing as bad as you'd expect because he's not peeing like everybody was told. At one point, somebody storms out, and we just hear him yelling, like, I don't give a fuck what TV show was on. On this show, you pee. And he just like stormed out. And I've never seen anything more gross and cringy on stage before. It was magical.
So I just want to get this very clear. So and it's still going on, right? So Mutiny Radio, the comedians piss on stage.
That was a one-time affair. I'm sure the cleanup was a nightmare. Like that place always had a funk to it, but after that, it must have been brutal. But that was, I mean, a comedy staple. And just every once in a while, the owner got an idea and nobody told her no, and it just was as gross as you'd expect it to be.
Oh, was it Pam Benjamin? Yeah,
It's a hundred
she
percent
ran it.
Pam Benjamin.
I've interviewed her on the pods, and she now moved to. I When I interviewed her, she was absolutely lovely, and I had a good chat with her. She told me that someone gave her $5 in her wallet to try and have sex with her, and then no, $50 actually, that's what it was. And then,
Okay, yes, please, $5. Have some respect, lady.
but now she runs a festival in Greece or something, and
Yeah, yeah.
she did a post ask for comics in the UK, and they've got people have got really offended because they're like, "What are you doing, charging us to to apply for it, but there's a chance we might not get on, and then you give some sort of discount code or something." People have really
Oh,
ripped into her.
I didn't know that was not a thing outside of the States. That, for whatever reason, is standard procedure where most festivals are funded by hundreds of sad, desperate comics trying to get in that don't. I That actually makes me really sad that that doesn't need to be a thing for applying to festivals.
What? That's a regular thing. Oh my
Yeah,
God, that is.
yeah. From the top
But
down, like
but you're the
even the
talent.
smaller competitions.
But you're the talent. Why should the talent have to pay to be in it? And they
Well, the names don't. It's not like anybody recognizable needs to submit $30 to try to get into Sketchfest or something. But yeah, at the opener level, it's just one of the
fuck's
many
sake.
systems of taking advantage that nobody stopped.
Well, the Edinburgh Fringe is a bit of a money making laundering scheme, but at least they only charge you when you're in the. They've accepted your application. They put you in the system. That
I never would have assumed that. I just assumed to do Fringe, you just throw them $50 and hope for the best.
Fucking hell. They got these, God, people in the organize these festivals in America must really be licking them. I, bloody hell, that getting money out of people just applying. So if you don't like someone just for the look of them, you can be, oh, I don't, sorry, you're not good enough to get in. You're just not the right fit. But there's no way of proving whether they're um, racist or this or that, and they get money out of you.
Yeah, that's
Don't
anytime
let
there's like a festival rejection email that goes around, there's a nice like bitter conversation that happens amongst all the local comics because we all get it at the same time. We all find out immediately who made it and who didn't. So yeah, just I don't know why America seems so convinced that nobody wants to pay money for stand-up comedy, but they're like the two drink minimum thing. Like there's just so many ways to try to bleed a little more money out of the system, and it's frustrating considering how many venues we have just specifically for stand-up. You'd think it would be more successful.
That's mad, man. I mean, look, yeah, I will say that, and I'm sorry to say this, Claire. When I was in America in 2017, I did notice that in Britain it's definitely a bit capitalist, and they can be quite what's the word for it? Predatory arseholes. But I know in
Hmm.
America it's like you're like that, but you're unapologetic about it. You're like,
Yeah.
yes, this is us. Like, if you don't like it, kid, suck a cock. That's what this,
Oh yeah. I
that,
mean,
or vagina, whatever you're into.
do you guys have this? It seems like it's just kind of specific to LA and New York, but there's a lot of open mics that's just like, you want to do 5 minutes? Give me $5. You want to do 10 minutes? Give me $10. And you're literally just supporting the host's cocaine habit. That's the only reason that's happening. And I just like, I don't understand how people don't quit immediately if that's how they start, where they need to pay just to go say words into a microphone.
Yeah, no, this is an issue in London as well because a lot of the times now you got to be forced to bring someone along, and
Ah,
also
yeah.
they do bring your own bringer, so you go and watch the show, and then that means next time you get to not go in without bringing someone in. But
Oh, interesting.
there is a bit of fishy business where if they know you well enough, or if you're friends with them, or if you're crafty enough, you can just pinch a friend of another comic. You can get him without doing, it, which is what I do.
Oh,
Sorry, I
yeah.
should have said that. Yeah, listeners, keep it quiet.
That's funny. I got to perform out there in 2023. My fiance went to grad school, went to university in London, so we
Okay.
went back to go meet some of her fellow students. And yeah, now I'm mad. I dragged her to all my shows. I could have been getting into all these extra comedy shows for free. I had an audience member. I squandered it.
Yeah, and I think if yeah, and that's one thing I think that is universal. If you're traveling, people will be a bit nicer to you in terms of spots. I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah, though I will say, if anybody listening is thinking of traveling to London to go do stand up, try to not do it anywhere near Fringe when literally everyone else in the world is going to London to go do stand up. I went in the summer and it was great, but the competition trying to get shows. I'm like, hey, hi, I'm from out of town. Isn't that exciting? And they're like, no, we have a lot of that right now.
There is oh, okay. Um, I'll message you some of the places to get in touch with, and if anyone's listening, you can message me too.
I had a great time though. I thoroughly enjoyed all of the goofy little bar shows that I did. I I do wish that air conditioning existed in these basements of pubs. It seems like every comedy venue I performed at, other than the Backyard Comedy Club, was created in, I'm going to say, 1740, before circulation was a thing. And it's just like, oh man, I've never sweated more in my entire life. I was gross on stage. I needed a poncho for the front row. It was so bad.
Yeah, it is what it is, eh? No,
Yeah, it's cool though, man. Talented cats out there.
oh no, definitely. I think without a doubt, I think Victor Petrascan, who's a friend of mine, what he said about New York, LA, and London, they're probably the three best comedy scenes in the world. I think without a doubt. I agree with that statement.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know who would top it. Like I hear Berlin's fun, but it can't be as good as those other three.
Yeah, no, I mean, what that is. Well, actually, no. This is the thing. Europe, most of them seem to know English. I've done courses in like France or like Germany. No,
Hmm.
not Germany, in Italy, and everyone there speaks English.
Yeah, yeah. It was like I got to go to Paris as well, and uh, you know, typical American. I'm like, God, this is gonna be the worst. They're all so pompous. Nobody likes it. People who speak English. Nobody likes Americans. Couldn't have been nicer. Like, couldn't have been a better time. The like just the diversity between like even just the comics. Never mind the audience was so cool. It was a very good experience.